It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Catafamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catafamo. I'd like to thank you for joining me. On today's show, we are talking Manzanita outreach, and my guest today is Executive Director Mike Newcomb. Mike, welcome back onto the show.
Thanks, Philip. Glad to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. Obviously, food assistance has been very big throughout the entire world because of COVID-19. Thankfully, there seems to be some sort of light at the end of this tunnel, but we are still in this pandemic. So, Mike, I want to start with this. Regarding 2020, how did Manzanita Outreach do during this COVID-stricken year?
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's been definitely in the press. Food assistance has been a big deal, the long lines at food banks. And, you know, the Verde Valley hasn't been immune to that. And I can start by saying, you know, we have great food assistance providers here, Manzanita Outreach being one. And they all do great work. But the impact on us, well, just to put it in perspective, from March of 2020 to May of 2020, we quadrupled the number of families that we served just in that 2-month window of time. So it was pretty crazy. We were leasing refrigerated trucks, hiring part-time staff, getting, you know, I think we went from 8 semi-truckloads a month to 20 right away. It was just kind of a crazy time. But we had to change everything we did. We went to a drive-through only format and are still doing that yet today. And saw as many as 800 cars on a weekend come to our one food sharing event in Cottonwood.
Yeah, it's definitely been, as you mentioned, the Verde Valley is not shy to food assistance. As you said, there's a lot of food assistance programs here in Yavapai County in general, as you mentioned, Manzanita Outreach being one. Again, visit mohelp.org. That is the site to go find where there's going to be food deliveries in your area. Mike, COVID-19, as we mentioned, what was the impact that COVID-19 had on food assistance in the Verde Valley in general?
You know, I would say that overall, we collectively saw at least a doubling of needs of food assistance that was provided. You know, one of the things we do is, you know, we try to fill the gaps. So we do our food sharing events on Saturdays on the first and third Saturdays of each month now. You know, it's really been just how do you make sure that everyone has access regardless of their circumstances, where they live, where they work, if they work, you know, go to school and so on. And we're about, like I said, filling those gaps.
What about during the holidays at the tail end of 2020? How did Manzanita Outreach do during Thanksgiving and Christmas? Did you see more people coming out for those food boxes during those holidays? Were there less? What was the reaction during the holiday season in terms of food delivery?
Yeah, well, there were definitely more people came out, and we were able to provide more food. I think that's been one of the key things is that there is enough food available. You know, how you source that, you know, we all do it in different ways, but there is enough food for everyone to have enough food to eat. And again, just making sure everybody has access to it. The holidays, we ramped up and had more cars come.
Yeah, a lot of programs are offered here with Manzanita Outreach. Again, mohelp.org if you want more information about this program. 928-649-5772 if you want to give them a call. Mike, like I mentioned, there's a lot of programs inside of Manzanita Outreach, one of which was one that I believe you guys launched last year. We had you on the show to talk about it. It was the Farmers to Families program. Can we talk about that?
Sure. So how I had mentioned, there's seems to be plenty of food, and that's been our experience. Farmers to Families is another example of that. So it's a USDA fresh pre-packed food boxes that have meat, dairy, and produce. So a client could expect to find a gallon of milk, cheese, yogurts, apples, potatoes, meat, and various other items. It's about a 35-pound box that we distribute. I think we're the only ones in the Verde Valley that distribute that. Mm-hmm. So our neighbors can pick those up on the first and third Saturdays of each month from 8 to 11 o'clock at Verde Valley Christian Church, which is where we do our distribution.
Did you guys notice any, were there any, in terms of, actually, let's go this route here. What has the community response been to Manzanita Outreach all through 2020? It seems like you guys are hosting a lot of events. What has the community reaction been to the organization?
It's been such a blessing to, I think, for the whole region. People have stepped up, whether it be volunteers or donors or organizations like Arizona Community Foundation or United Way and various donors that have stepped up and said, we want to help. And, the one that kind of hits me in the heart that really has an impact on me is where our proxy program, where a neighbor can pick up food on somebody else's behalf. And that has grown to, I think our list has over 300 people on it, where people have signed up to be able to pick a box up for their neighbor. It could be somebody at their church, a relative, somebody they work with that can't get to food assistance. And that whole, our tagline is that we're sharing food and building community. And to see our community come together to be able to help distribute this food is something that's really special.
I had a neighbor of mine pick up one of the food boxes from Manzanita Outreach to deliver it to another neighbor of ours who has a little bit of trouble getting to the grocery store during the week. And he was telling me about some of the stuff that is included in the boxes, and he was a little impressed of how much was actually included in a lot of these food boxes here for Manzanita Outreach. And it's such a very needed thing here in the Verde Valley, even for people who do have jobs and for people who they just don't have time to get to things. I know that there's a kids program that's going to be launched soon, which we're going to talk about that. You've got the senior food boxes, which we'll talk about as well. But you're not just getting nothing, with these boxes. You're getting a lot when somebody goes and picks up one of these boxes for you.
Yeah, and I think there's a stigma. A bit of a stigma related to, food assistance. Our philosophy is we're just sharing food with our neighbors, and we do that. There's an abundance. There's enough food for everyone, and we say that we and do share food with kindness and dignity, and the dignity comes in the food that we share as well. We're very, very selective about we sort through and make sure that it's good quality food and really makes a difference, in a person's nutrition.
Yes, it very much does. As we mentioned, there's clearly a need for food assistance here in the Verde Valley, even before the pandemic began. Again, manzanitaoutreach.org is the main website. If you are looking for more information about food sharing events, where you can pick up boxes, where you can have them delivered if you need to, or where you can have somebody go and pick up a box for you, mohelp.org, mohelp.org, or you can call their main number 928-649-5772. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will talk about the other programs that are offered at Manzanita Outreach for your food needs. On the other side of this break, Countywide will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Two things we can count on every year:
a new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
The EPA says C&B Construction ranks in the top 1% nationally. C&B Construction invites you to see what energy efficiency and indoor air quality can be. We have won another Department of Energy Innovation Award, and C&B Construction is the only contractor in the country to win 6 consecutive EPA Indoor Air Plus awards. Experience our zero-energy, move-in-ready homes at Crossroads at Mingus.
C&B Construction, locally respected, nationally recognized. Find out more at candbhomes.com.
Been hearing about the crazy benefits of CBD? Find out how CBD can help you at Sedona's #1 resource, CBD Sedona. Come in for a free consultation and let our trained medical staff help you find the perfect product for you. Pain relieving salves, full spectrum oils, CBD skincare, bath bombs, and even CBD for your pets. Come on by CBD Sedona today.
Terrifying jobs, high-flying linemen, take 3.
Josh, this is an absolutely terrifying job. Why do you do it?
It's a very demanding job, but very rewarding and exciting.
How much energy are you actually working with up there?
500,000 volts of electricity.
It's definitely not my line of work. Does anything shock you?
Yeah, distracted drivers terrify me.
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catafamo. On today's show, we are talking Manzanita Outreach, and my guest today is Executive Director Mike Newcomb. We talked a little bit in the first segment how Manzanita Outreach fared in 2020. As we know, the pandemic hit us extremely hard around this time last year, and Manzanita Outreach, along with multiple other food banks and food assistance programs here in the Verde Valley and throughout Yavapai County, have been instrumental in making sure that people are fed and make sure that they have meals for their kids, meals for themselves, meals for their families just in general. Mike, the program was recently awarded the Verde Valley Nonprofit of the Year Award. What does an award like that mean to your organization, and how much more, not pressure, but how much more emphasis does it put on you guys to continue your wonderful work here in the Verde Valley?
Yeah, so we received that award from Arizona Community Foundation of Sedona, who works with all of Verde Valley. And, it was humbling, and, we feel like it's a privilege to be able to do what we do. Our volunteers all feel the same way. I don't see any added pressure. It's nice to be recognized, but we're just all about trying to make sure everybody has enough food to eat. And again, the recognition is good, but it doesn't change anything for us.
No, of course. It's just a really nice plaque to put up on the wall, and hopefully, like I said, maybe you guys can go back to back in terms of Verde Valley Nonprofit of the Year Award, unlike your Chiefs in the Super Bowl, unfortunately. But senior food boxes was something you mentioned. Let's dive into that. Are there any spots available right now for the senior food boxes, and what is in the senior food boxes as well?
Okay, so it's another USDA program. The Senior Food Box has about a $50 retail value of food, and it's non-perishables. And they're designed for seniors and their nutrition needs. It's a monthly food box, and there are requirements. You have to be at least 60 years of age, so I qualify. And then there's restrictions on income as well. And we did recently get our allocation was expanded based on the need that we've seen in our community. So we do have additional openings currently. And if people can go to our website, or preferably actually call our phone number, and we'll be glad to get them set up on that program. Part of what we do with our volunteers is for those seniors that can't come pick up the box, we have home delivery available for those as well.
Again, that phone number is 928-649-5772. If you want more information about the senior boxes or any of the other programs that we've talked about inside of Manzanita Outreach, again, mohelp.org for more information, and manzanitaoutreach.org as well. Mike, one of the main reasons we brought you on, Mopacks for Kids program. Let's talk about that. When is that going to start, and what does that include?
Yeah, I think just to start talking about Mopacks, it's really, and again, we've seen it in the press and heard it from our schools, and we've definitely heard it from parents that come through to our food sharing events, that there's a struggle. It's been confusing for families to some degree, whether school's in or out, hybrid, what happens in the summer, all those things. So our intention of Mopacks, which is in its infancy stages, we're just putting that together, is that we would be able to provide weekly food, which could be an assortment of meals and snacks that a parent could pick up on a Saturday, and have that available every Saturday. Just kind of take that burden away. So as an example, in the summer, we plan to have a freeze and thaw program, which would be meals. So each child would receive 5 meals, assorted snacks, probably some apples and oranges kinds of things. We would include a book. We have a book sharing program, so that Mopack would have some food and a book to help the kids through the next week.
And I can see, obviously now with kids still in school, there's still that transportation aspect of I know a lot of kids rely on sort of eating at school, and during the summertime, which is, like you said, when this program is going to be launched, this will allow kids to not have to worry about that transportation aspect going from their house back over to the school to pick up their food. But this allows them to have something at home that can easily be unthawed or thrown into a microwave, doesn't require too much. There's obviously things included there that don't need to be microwaved and stuff like that. I love the book idea. I thought that was great too. Did you guys notice a need for a kids program? Was there any expression from people outside going, hey, I like these food boxes, but my kids don't really have, they don't eat a whole lot of this stuff. They're a little bit more picky. Is there, what kind of drew that inspiration to start Mopacks for Kids?
Yeah, it all came from, our neighbors that we share food with. What we're seeing is, and what we're hearing is, the food that we're giving out at our food shares is typically food that needs to be prepared. So to be able to have kid-friendly food available, or it could, like you said, it could be just readily available, right. Whether school's in or out, whether it's weekend, weekday, whatever, that they would have access, kind of their own food pack, basically.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, very much so. Anything else going on with Manzanita Outreach? Anything else that's being implemented? Any things that you guys want to get implemented? Anything new on the horizon for the program as well?
I guess just kind of to summarize, we look at it as, here's our neighbors, and how can we get food assistance to our neighbors? And yes, there's families, there's seniors, a lot of whom live alone, and then there's kids. So our programs are designed to, with our food sharing to get to families, and our senior food box to get to seniors, and now with Mopacks for Kids to be able to get to kids. So it's really about, I feel like this is the last piece, and with the community support, we can make sure that every child in the Verde Valley has enough food to eat and fill some of the gaps that are left from the great work that the schools do. But to kind of solve that access problem that you mentioned, that for working families that can't go pick up food because they're working, well, they can do it on a weekend now if they would happen to be off on Saturdays.
Yeah. Again, manzanitaoutreach.org for more information about the program, mohelp.org to learn more about the food sharing events that are occurring throughout the entire Verde Valley. Their phone number, 928-649-5772. Mike, as you said, you guys are covering a lot of bases here. You got the senior boxes, you've got the farmers to family boxes, now the Mopacks for Kids, covering a lot of bases and serving the Verde Valley as much as possible for any food needs that they may have. Again, mohelp.org if you want some more information about food sharing events near you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about how you can get involved in Manzanita Outreach countywide. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Who doesn't dream of home improvements? Perhaps your kitchen, the real living room. Maybe the bathroom, where you bookend your day. Langstrand Contracting is your one-stop shop from tear down to finishing touches. With 35 years of experience, Chris and his team will work with you to match your family's style and budget. Call Langstrand Contracting today for guidance in bringing your vision to life.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family friendly, open 11:30 to 9. Late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles.
Welcome back to Countywide. On today's show, we are talking about Manzanita Outreach, and we are joined by Executive Director Mike Newcomb. In the first segment, we talked about how the program did in 2020 during COVID. In the second segment, we talked about some of the programs that are offered and some of the new programs, including the Mopacks for kids. Again, if you want more information about Manzanita Outreach, manzanitaoutreach.org is their website. mohelp.org will give you information about when and where you can go pick up food and where food sharing events will be. 928-649-5772 is the number. We will hit all of that again before we go. Mike, how can people get involved in this program for 2021?
Yeah, I would say that donations would be the biggest way that would help us launch things like Mopacks for kids. We are a qualified organization for the Arizona tax credit, and would really be honored for people to make that decision to have their tax dollars go our direction, and we'll put them to good use. The other thing is people can volunteer. They can also go to our website, manzanitaoutreach.org, and sign up to volunteer. We're always needing people to help with packing the food or doing home deliveries and things like that.
So again, like we said, if you want more information, manzanitaoutreach.org, you can find out volunteer information, find out where to donate. Their website is very easy to navigate. I've been on it a few times. Again, mohelp.org for more specific information about events. Mike, we're coming down to the end of the show here. Is there anything else that the people need to know about Manzanita Outreach before we call it a day here?
Yeah, I think I just would like everyone to understand that we have great food assistance providers here. And if you or anyone that needs food assistance or just a little help, especially through this time, please reach out to us, and we will either connect you with somebody in your community or make sure that you have food assistance. It's important to us, and our community is working very well together to make sure that nobody lacks access to food.
There are multiple food there are multiple food banks here in Yavapai County, in the Verde Valley, in Coconino County. Wherever you might be watching or listening, there is a food bank or food sharing event like Manzanita Outreach. There are options there if you need them. More specifically here, again, manzanitaoutreach.org, information about donating, information about volunteering, information about the program itself, mohelp.org, food sharing events, where they're happening, when they're happening. You can have somebody pick them up for you. You can go pick them up yourself. I know the senior boxes are being delivered to senior communities. Their phone number is 928-649-5772. There is a reason they are the Verde Valley Nonprofit of the Year, and they do some wonderful work. And Mike, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show today and getting us up to speed on what's going on with Manzanita Outreach.
Thanks, Philip. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for what you do and your organization. We look forward to talking with Manzanita Outreach a little bit more down the line and talking about some of these great programs. But again, mohelp.org if you are looking for more information, manzanitaoutreach.org as well. Their phone number, 928-649-5772. That has been today's Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catafamo, wishing you a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again next time.